relax there. Come on, guys. Ah, even better yet. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, hold on this.
So, like, please don't cough on me. Cover your mouth. Turn your head the other way, please. Please don't cough on me.
I'm not coughing on you.
I know, I felt spit hit me. I'm just saying.
It's not coughing on you.
I was just asking you to cover your mouth. That's all.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it in front of your mother. Because, oh, you don't know how. Oh, you do know.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I just don't like people coughing.
I'm not.
That's all.
Okay, when you're taking a hit, it's kind of hard for cough this way, or cough this way, or cough this way. There's a stool will go this way, or go this way, and stool will go this way. Dayton, I'm not being mean, not being
I wasn't being mean
anything. Just I heard you guys last night. Leave the stick alone. Dude. You sure about it? Come. I heard that. Yeah. Hope said Inca. Yeah. Where they at? Shoot, yeah. Nobody could find them. So it takes two to find one. Tommy. Okay.
Onde c'è un mio, yana ba ma ya to. Quan che shu, yo to pa, yana ba ma to ya chu. Sum ya ba ma to ya chu. Con đi. Ya da ba ma to. Con in sha ma, wo ya da ba, ya ne ba ma. Yu su yu ko zhe ya da ba, ya da ba ma to ya ta, de ye shi shi.
What's your name?
Caroline,
Caroline? I'm Anita.
Anita.
He's my Facebook friend. But I met him here before we met on Facebook, so we're actual friends.
I'm really glad to see you again.
I'm glad to see you too. Thanks for sitting with us,
Yeah.
helping transmute the energy. There's just so much there. There's just so much. You just can't move or something. Just having so much trouble moving that energy. Well, there it went.
Tommy and his friend or something?
Yeah. I defended you.
I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, I didn't realize he was talking about me till you mentioned me.
Yes. Just talking about you.
What's he saying?
Every time the birds do something when you come around or something. I don't know.
Birds sound different.
It's because of your bad energy. So evil. Evil! I thought maybe it was him. I was getting scared. He's gonna know. But I don't know. Man just needs some help.
I started the video. That's
When? A while ago.
it. Yeah. Just to see. I don't know.
Well, here it is. This is how it went through this time. It was very uncomfortable. We just breathed a lot. There wasn't a lot to say. It's not a very easy receiver, this one. So we just breathe. And we breathe. And we feel. And we breathe. And if anything's there to say, we say it. But there's usually not a lot to say in those scenarios. We just kind of wait to see if we get agitated enough to be, or if we just like find love in the craziest, amazing manner and are somehow able to reach the person. I don't know. Just see what happens authentically in that moment. It's all kinds of frustrations and all kinds of feelings to guide you to the motion most necessary, you know. Only you forcing yourself away from yourself would cause yourself to do something in dissonance with that. You know, even if you were to say fuck you, there's a fuck you that rests within the center of the moment. And if you tried to force it, you could create reverberation. But if it came spontaneous, then it would have no reverberation. It'd be the wisdom of non-action. So that's where authenticity is. And in this moment, it was just a big breathing. Just a big breathing. Feeling very loose in my frequency. Feeling, you know, just molding to the energy of everything felt through the expressions occurring around us. Oh, okay. Knowledge of all the different information occurring here and how every different motion, syllable structure leads to the next motion of energy and just molding, allowing that to pass through. It seemed as it was just blowing energy through, a much more indirect style channel and transmutation. But, you know, when being can't receive and you're not going to force the being away, then you got to sit there and mold with the energy of the moment. If you can mold with the energy of the moment and you can help it move through, you can transmute the being's energy and you can also do something that's very efficient for yourself in learning and growth. And so I guess it's in a way what we just experienced. I don't know when she started the video, but it can be difficult working with certain energies, especially ones that feel discriminatory or racist or this or that or the other, judgment this, judgment that, things that believe there's demons, also things that believe they have high spiritual standing, when to me it appears they're confused. But you know, who is to say? Seems as if they don't understand non-duality. Anyways. And so for beings in this way, you know, you can't really show them like, oh, look here, we tried with that before. But anytime you say, look here, it seems to be a competition to that kind of a thing. So now, instead of starting fight and argument and strife, it's become a weaving of much more gentle nature. Always stating, you know, the authentic expression of what's occurring. So if they ever stray to the side and include you, you just immediately say, oh, no, this is what's happening. And they're like, oh, but this, nope, this is what's happening. Oh, but this, no, this is still the only thing that's ever been happening. Okay, cool. And then you just continue to just lie and rest within the truth. You just sit there, okay, this is the truth, this is actually what's occurring, and so I'll just rest within this. Not the extra of what's occurring of, you're a piece of shit, that's why this is happening. I mean, that may be something you want to say. You may be agitated to spontaneously doing this in the wisdom of non-action as well. I find softer chord shapes to be the authentic expression in this unique scenario, but all kinds of scenarios bring all kinds of unique requests to your own authenticity, and so just finding out how you feel actually will really help guide you through any motion. If you fight against how you feel actually, you'll see why the motion went all crazy. And you decide that you were afraid for a good reason, you may find that you didn't have any trouble. And then eventually, when you responded in a scenario where you were previously afraid, but you are no longer afraid, that was also the scenario to where it was good. You know, we'll find authenticity and how that can guide us into harmonizing very easily with everything. For me, I became very close. I knew if I had to speak to this person, I had nothing extremely cordial to say in the chord shape, and it would create more reverberation, a constant looping, and then more argument, and really no great fruition of benefit when it comes to the transference of wisdom. And so, because I've seen this already reflected in this individual, I knew what to do in this chord shape at this time. Of course, I felt all kinds of different ways about how it is maybe I could respond from my new enlightened place of awareness. But as it turns out, I just breathed and allowed the moment to pass by. Oh, this is something that's happening apparently. Okay, here we are. And accept it's happening, not fight against it's happening. But what do we do with it's happening? Well, we just have to accept it's happening, then we can work through that. I was waiting to see if there was a chord shape, a frequency, a word, a wisdom that could be transferred through to be passed to this individual, but nothing was coming. So I just breathed. I became very loose with the energy. I started moving energy through very powerfully, rising my own energy probably. And it seems that usually when this occurs anyway, it creates an uncomfortability in any being that isn't able to resonate with that kind of a frequency, and also that the whole transference of coming in is actually an energy clearing of the entire energy of the moment around. So it's probably clearing for this being as well. So this being come over, he says his agitated frequency, it agitates my frequency into a form of awareness, it agitates our frequency into some form of awareness and learning and growth. And this particular learning and growth led to a place where this being was just saying, hey, you want to help me out today? Oh, okay. Well, typically I would judge you, you're not worthy, you're all fucked up and crazy. But I mean, I guess you'll probably lead me into the realm of authenticity to where we work very much in equanimity with one another. At one point, I was just kind of disturbed. At this point, I can fall into the nature of the flow, into the breath, and see that's a transmutation of energy that's not only beneficial for him, but for all of us, as we are one being. And so it's very beautiful then. Then it's actually very beneficial to myself as well. So I could turn away for the uncomfortable scenario, but that's the scenario in which myself as this being is going through right now. So we can both feel this together in harmony if we love one another unconditionally, and we can go through it for the amount of duration in which we're both available, you know, and that was the amount of duration in which it happened. Luckily, we were both authentic to ourselves. We both left the scenario when genuine. I was going to rest into the scenario until it was done, so whenever it was finished was the time in which I was ready. I don't know. I guess if it got extremely ready, like to where I was really agitated, then maybe I would have been motivated to motion of the voice and saying something to this person, say, hey, You know, I don't like this anymore for this reason and for that reason and for that reason. I would like this to be done, or I would like this to change, or I'd like to go this way. I was wondering if we could direct him into some talk about consciousness, maybe lead him into a video where we're already previous. But, you know, we were just able to breathe through that spot. That's all we were able to do, not a big deal. And also state the authentic truth of what was happening when he led us into a place of looping illusory reality about him, the birds and the trees and whatever else was happening with our dear friend Anitet and with us, or however it is, what he heard last night, or whatever's going on in the reality that we're not privy to and we're not a part of because it's illusory. And but these illusory realities, the projections of the mind, can be very, very, very real. So for him, it is a very real thing, you know, surely. And so we could come to understanding to that as well, that he's not an ignorant idiot, that he just simply is believing in something that's not true because information has been presented to him that makes him believe that from a place of intelligence, actually. And so we can work through why these kinds of projections are working within the realms of someone's mind. If they're unopened, then there's nothing we can do, you know. But if there is openness, we may have went to another place to try to find out the root of this and find out why he's thinking a false scenario about one of us or about the group of us or whatever it is when it comes to this chord shape and his reality, you know. And but again, you know, the lack of openness, there's not really much we can go to. So we just breathe and we allow the energy to move. Any kind of movement of light frequency towards that energy will create a great agitation for it. It's in a very low level understanding and realization. So its circuitry cannot boost some of these higher frequencies, and so we just breathe. You know, otherwise we cause some agitation. We try to force them because we're agitated with them. We try to force them into a positioning that they're not ready to go into yet. So anybody who's aware and at a point of awareness of high realization can always notice this, and they'll know how to harmonize. There's no reason to make this being heal. There's no reason to make this being know whatever it is that we think it may need to know. This being is utterly perfect in this moment. This is our wisdom teacher. Something's happening here. How can we harmonize with this? You know, always being authentic, and not that we can't tell it the truth of itself if it comes about. But that we do not need to force anything into existence that we think needs to be in existence. We can just bond with the moment and feel, and now let the moment form and see what needs to come into existence. We can learn a lot from the way the moment unfolds itself perfectly in our awareness and just being mindful, surrendering to it, allowing ourselves to be as versatile and formless as it. And so it's very beautiful, this scenario that's come through. It's very beautiful that you started the video, and it's very beautiful that we're here talking about this now. It was a very difficult chord shape to go through, I gotta tell you. But because it was so difficult, I had to breathe a lot, ridiculous. And so that turned out to be the medicine, the transmutation of energy. By the time the breath scenario was done, I was looking at this ants on this thing and blowing them off, more like smudging of energy in a certain way. It's funny too, the water, you know, plastic water bottle, funny. Just blowing ants off, and it just went away. You know, no more attention, no more energy in that manner in a certain sense. And then also the transmutation of energy. We don't have to feed the energy, you know, the energy is taking, you know, it's just coming over here to dominate. It's not a big deal. We don't have to reject it either and make it feel bad or less or judge in any manner, which would cause it to maybe wish to defend itself in some way, and then we would have to rebuttal with the truth that we're not doing that in order to settle it. But we just, you know, it was beautiful. And then brother got a chance to state himself truthfully, and what a sweet, gentle person he is, getting spit on by the man. Coughing, of course. He wasn't spitting on him intentionally, though he could have had the consideration and awareness to simply take one step back, as he has a body that moves and is able to do that, but it's okay, not a big deal. We got led into all kinds of chord shapes and frequencies due to the communication and the respect of this being. I'll always give this kind of respect in nature, and now it may be that I get to an ignoring pattern quicker, who knows for sure. Either way, I see nothing but perfection, so there's not really any way to control ourselves, just to know that because it was perfection, we can have confidence in just being ourselves as we were just now. And we can maybe even be more of ourselves. Maybe that would be great. Or maybe we were just right ourselves. Who knows? Maybe there's no real way to refine, and so we just relax subtly, you know, that we are exactly as we need to be always, and everything is, even this man. So yeah. Well, thank you so much. My friend Anitet, it's the first time I've seen him in a very long time, and I'm very happy to see him. So I'd like to say hello and meet and greet and not be on video. Love you.